is why you hate me. Mother. For me, I think it's important to look at biological realities. For my family, I was the sixth child, and I came 20 years after the beginning of family for my mom. The amount of strain that each pregnancy puts on a woman's body is amazing. I've heard that women don't really fully recover, even with all the nutrition and best that we have to care for recovery after a baby, that this usually takes 3 to 5 years. Women, their feet shrink or they get bigger. Women get shorter. Women lose teeth having a baby. And as we go into our late 30s, 40s, maybe 50s, our hormones are in a storm. My mom actually called it the rage train, and I think that was very accurate. What we do know is that there are ways that people used to use herbs and they used to support their body through this, and I really would encourage people to look at that because I think that could have changed the way that my mom's body reacted to the extreme strain of having a sixth child. And that strain physically and also that hormone change mentally, it has such a huge effect on things, even personality. So for whatever reason, my mom's personality changed. And I also was a very different kid. So maybe you're like me and maybe you were scapegoated. And so just a little touch on the why, her body went through a lot, her mind went through a lot, her life went through a lot. That's a lot of kids. But that why isn't as deep because I can't explain to everyone, even if that's true about my mom. This is why you hate me, Mom? I'm not sure. She'll never tell me. She'll never quite have that insight, and we probably have to give up on that. So I can't tell you exactly why that happened to you. I don't even know exactly why that happened to me. But a deeper why of why you hate me, why we should be here, and think about this, is why? Like, what did I get out of this? Why did you hate me, Mom? What am I going to take away? What is this face that a mother didn't love? What is this face gonna have in life? What immunity am I gonna take from this semi-tragedy? Every day I wake up and I think I need to kill my ego today. Because if you don't, it's gonna hurt and it's gonna happen anyway. And I think the gift of being a hated child, like Blair White said, people have been trying to take me out since I came out of the womb. And the strength of that is immunity. Ego death is a victory. Ego death is a freedom. No one protected my ego, and therefore I don't protect my ego. And protecting our ego is the things that we call narcissism. They're the behaviors that push us away from other people. I have my own limiting problems. I'm not perfect, but I have the immunity of ego death from this mini tragedy that is being hated as a baby. And it happens, it's real. Maybe it happened to you, and I know how you feel. Being the scapegoat creates a life of seeing the truth of people, but you barely being believed. And it hurts. And the worst thing that can happen, I think, is that we get stuck in a mind control type of ego death where your needs didn't matter, your life had a deep hostility towards it, and there's just a constant state of fear. The predators out there, your mom is supposed to give you an immunity to diseases through her nurturing and even her milk and her body. But perhaps your mom, like me, gave you a different immunity. Maybe your mom gave you an immunity to that loss of yourself into your ego. But that's only if you got through the first mind control vulnerability. Because when you have no right to value within your family, you lose your right to needs. And it's really easy to just become kind of like a mind control person in slavery to the needs of others. This is how probably mind control is done to people in a ritualized way, because it's so effective to not allow a human being to have the needs that they have. And so if you were like me, and this is why you hate me, mother, and you can relate and you can put that here with me, then I would say that if you've broken free of being a mind controlled person in your relationships where you have to not have any needs, if you've gotten past that, you've gained the immunity. That maybe is why, Mom, why you hated me. Being able to stand in the storm with people and not take things personally, maybe until later, getting through crisis. Being the scapegoat creates this life where you see the truth of people. And I would challenge you to see the beauty in that. Ironically, anyone who didn't have our beautiful immunity, they have the risk of taking on everything that their family was. And so maybe the only thing tougher than being rejected by everyone that's supposed to love you and your family is becoming like those people that you were not supposed to be. You were meant perhaps for greater things than they can ever see. I think the worst expression of this is like a murderer who has to end a life to see their bad secrets fade away and be hidden. That's what these families can be like, bonds of secrecy. They're never fully seen. It's not okay to be seen with all the good and bad. They are only safe when they're together, and for whatever reason, the beauty that was you did not make them feel safe. You made them feel seen. And I bet you make other people feel seen too because of what you've been through and your immunity. And you know what? This is why they hate me. And that's something that I can handle because my mom made it really easy. So this is why you hate me, Mother, because through your eyes, I was a vessel where you could put your bad, angry behavior, your bad secrets. But in fact, I am a person, so instead, I get insight and immunities. I experienced the ego death, the challenge, and the blessing. A lot of children in this situation experience a physical death, and those are our two choices. If your family doesn't love you,